Hey, what is going on, guys? DK. Back at you with another video here to bring the showdown slate between Spain and the USA on Fanduel. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. My name is DK. I make daily videos and live stream for NBA and NFL sites on DraftKings. Starting to make videos for Fanduel for NBA and NFL. And then I also make videos for PGA Daily Fantasy Sports and NBA Top Shot. If you're unable to watch these YouTube videos, I also upload an Apple Podcast. I'll have a link down below. It's called the DKDFS Show. If you could leave a 5-star rating and review, that would help me out a ton. If you're interested in signing up for premium content, 3 different packages. NFL package, that's going to include the preseason. NBA package, which includes the Olympics and Summer League, which starts up in about less than a week. And an esports package, that includes Call of Duty and CSGO. And I do want to thank Prize Picks for sponsoring this episode. So, if you guys are not familiar with Prize Picks, a couple different ways you can play. Number one, you can take over-under and straight-up fantasy points. So Prize Picks will post players and their fantasy scores. Right now, we have, 17 players posted. And again, you either take the over or the under based on how you feel, or single stat. So you can take over, under, and straight up points, assist, rebounds. Again, I like it. It's a nice change of pace because you're not playing against when you're just playing against the house. So if you guys want to try it out, you can sign up, use my code DKDFS. DKDFS, all one word. I'll have a link down below. You'll get a 100% match up to $100. Basically, put $100 in, you will get a free $100 or $200 to play with. So let's take a look at see if there's any of these that kind of stand out. So right now we have Luka Doncic projected for 54 fantasy points. Feels about right, but maybe a lean to the over there if that game stays competitive. Let's see, what else do we got? Evan Fournier at 30 fantasy points. So in a competitive game, he played 34 minutes against the USA. The game against Italy is projected to stay close, so maybe a lean to the over on Fournier as well. But yeah, again, if you guys want to try it out and use my code, you will get a free $100 if you put $100 in. And finally, I want to thank you guys again for your continued support on the DraftKings videos, live streams, the Top Shot videos, the PGA videos, these FanDuel videos starting to make. I know a couple of you guys requested this. You liked the FanDuel video I made last time, so I figured, why not? Run it back. So if you guys do enjoy all this content, if you could, leave a like button on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload videos and you know when I'm live. All right, so before we talk about players and their prices for this showdown slate, let's quickly look back mine up here from last showdown slate with the USA and Czech Republic. So last showdown slate went pretty well for me. Again, I don't play a ton over here on FanDuel, but just entered the big $5.55 tournament, and 3 extra money won $15. So my lineup was Satoransky in the MVP spot with KD, Vesely, Tatum, and Baldwin. You guys knew I wanted to go KD, Satoransky in the top 1, too, whether you want Sato at the top or KD at the top. The optimal was KD in the MVP. He went off, but Satoransky was pretty solid as well. And then, Vesely and Baldwin were too underpriced. I mean, Baldwin being 25% owned, he was just such a clear value. It didn't make a ton of sense. Vesely only 42%, right? So people just wanted to jam in this USA guys, and that was a mistake. And that's why, again, there's still pretty big edge here on these FanDuel contests. Let's just take a look at the winning lineups. I'm actually curious what the winning lineup was here. So winning lineup was KD in the captain with Tatum, Drew, Shib, and Satoransky. Okay. So Tatum had a nice game there in garbage time. So it was about a little over 10 points away from first place. All right, but yeah, let's talk about this showdown slate, guys. So real quick, let's take a look at the Vegas odds. I'm very excited for this game. Excited for all 4 of these games. Again, if you guys want my 4-game slate breakdown, I have it up on DraftKings going team by team. But this game, again, this video we're going to focus on just USA and Spain. So it's a 179.5 over under, and USA are 12.5 point favorites. So let's start off with the Spain side. And what I want to do before we kind of talk about players and all their prices is let's take a look at what they've been averaging so far in the Olympic games, the 3 games so far. So the tricky part of Spain is they do kind of spread out the minutes with their players. So they've been running basically 10+ man rotation every single game. I think 12, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 players in the roster. And the couple of games they've played all 12. Now, their clear go-to guy is Ricky Rubio. He's been averaging just under 24 minutes a game, 21.7 assists, 3 boards, and a little less than a steal a game. So Rubio, even though he's not playing massive minutes, is being super, super productive. Now, I think there's a chance he plays a little bit more. He played 25 minutes last game. This is obviously the quarterfinals. It's do or die time. They're going up against the USA, a powerhouse team. So I would think he plays a couple extra minutes here. So like maybe instead of the 23, 24 minutes from Rubio, we get 26 to 27. So I do really like him. Again, he has been their top option on offense. Now, going over the rest of the roster, Sergio Lowell's been averaging just under 20 minutes, 9 points, 1 assist. Don't have a ton of interest there. Pau Gasol and Marc Gasol kind of manning the middle. Marc averaging 21 minutes, Pau Gasol averaging 15. Now the prices are flip-flop on DraftKings. Marc Gasol is way pricier than Pau. On Fanduel, again, Pau is more pricey than Marc. So gonna give the edge to Marc over Pau on Fanduel here. But yeah, Pau has been averaging 8, 5, and 1 in 15 minutes. Marc's been averaging 7, 4, and 4 in just over 20 minutes. Victor Claver's been averaging 8 and 5 in 23 minutes. Sergio Rodriguez is a high-usage point guard off the bench, was formerly in the NBA. He's been averaging 6, 3, and 2 in about 16 minutes. Rudy Fernandez averaging 6 and 4 in about 23 minutes. Abrines, their shooting guard, averaging just under 20 minutes. However, he did get in foul trouble last game. The other 2 games he played, I think, 21 and 29 minutes. The issue with Abrines, though, is he's pretty reliant on the scoring. Willie Hernan Gomez or Guillermo Hernan Gomez, he's a good point per minute guy, but not playing a ton of minutes, playing about 10 minutes a game. And then Alberto Albalde playing about 17 minutes. Usman Garuba playing about 10. So let's now go look at these prices here. So Rubio is, way up from everyone else, but it's for good reason, right? He has just been their top option for sure. I think he plays a couple extra minutes here. He is one of my favorite spot ups in the slate. I think Rubio is going to be a little bit under-owned. Again, people are just going to lean towards jamming in as many USA guys as they can. I think it's a mistake. I think Rubio is one of the best spend-up options on the slate. Now, I mentioned on DraftKings that Marc is way more pricey than Pau. On FanDuel, Pau is pricier than Marc. So for me, I'm going to prefer Marc Gasol over Pau Gasol. First, he's cheaper. Second, he's playing more minutes. So, yeah, I will take Marc Gasol over Pau Gasol all day long for the $1,500 difference. So, not a ton of interest there in Pau Gasol. Victor Claver at 10K. I mean, he is playing some solid minutes, right? 23 minutes, averaging 8 and 5. Not completely out of play, but I think I would rather go to Marc Gasol for a little bit less. And Rudy Fernandez, another Spaniard that's playing some decent minutes, playing about 23 minutes, but not being super productive, averaging 6, 4, and 2. I don't know if I want to go there. And then we kind of get to the cheaper options. So Sergio Rodriguez, I mentioned he's a high-usage guard off the bench. Not going to play a ton. I would think it's somewhere in that 15 to 18-minute range. But he's going to be productive when he's out there, and he's only 8.5K. So kind of like Rodriguez for value. Abrines is going to play more than Rodriguez. However, he is very reliant on the scoring. I think we get somewhere in that mid-20s minute range for Abrines, which I think makes him a fair value as well. And then if I was going to go to one of these punt plays, like really, really cheap, I think it would be Willie Hernan Gomez because if you guys played like NBA DFS this year, he's a good punt per minute guy, right? The Pelicans, when they were thin up front and Hernan Gomez would start some games, he was like a plug-and-play value play. So even though he might only play like 8 to 12 minutes, I think he's going to be productive when he's out there. So he would be the guy of like the guys in the really cheap range that I would consider for Spain. All right, let's talk about USA, and then we can talk a little bit about roster construction. So on the USA side, on DraftKings, Damian Lillard is more expensive than KD. On FanDuel, it's way different. KD is 15K, Damian Lillard is 12K. Now, in the exhibition games and even in the Olympic games, these two have been their top options, and they should play close to 30 minutes in competitive games. So I like both KD and Dame. Maybe, though, a small lean to Dame over KD for the price discount, right? He's $3,000 cheaper, Damian Lillard is, than KD. And what I want to do, too, is look at, so this is what they've been averaging, USA guys, but a couple of these games were blowouts, right? So Tatum averaging a little over 20 minutes, KD 23, Dame 26, Drew 24, Levine 20 minutes, Booker 16, Bam 19. But I brought up USA versus France because this was a competitive game, right? They lost to France 83 to 76. So I think we'll get a good idea of what the minute's going to be like for the Spain game by looking at this game against France. So Drew Holiday started, played 28 minutes. Bam Adebayo started, played 25 minutes. I'll talk about Bam here in a sec, but I do like him because Spain has a really big front court. They have the Gasol bros. They have Hernan Gomez. I think Bam is going to play over 20 minutes, so we'll get to him, but I like Bam. Again, Dame played 28 minutes. Now, KD only played 21 here, but he got in foul trouble. He fouled out, so don't be super worried about that. Tatum played 24 off the bench, and then Levine 18, Booker 19, Draymond 21, with McGee, Middleton, and Keldon Johnson barely playing. So this is what, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-man rotation basically for the USA. I think that's what we're going to expect here in a competitive game. So going back to players and the prices, Again, I still like KD a good amount here. Maybe put him behind Lillard for point per dollar, but sorry about that. But yeah, I think KD's probably right behind Lillard for me. Now, Tatum's going to come off the bench most likely here. He's 13.5K, and he had a big game, but a lot of that was due to garbage time, so he is a little bit of a riskier play. Drew Holiday at 13K has been starting, and they've been going a little bit more small, and he's been solid. He's a guy that can stuff the stat sheet, so I think Drew is a fair play. LaVine, the issue I have with LaVine is he's a little bit more reliant on the scoring. So if he's not hitting his shots, the floor is a little bit low. Kind of same thing with Devin Booker, but Booker is a little bit cheaper at 10.5 as opposed to Lillard at 12.5, or to LaVine at 12.5. So if I'm going to go to one of these kind of more scoring dependent players for the USA, I would rather roll the dice on Booker, who's just a little bit cheaper. And then we get to the really cheap options. So Middleton. The issue I have with Middleton, again, he only played 5 minutes in that competitive game against France. So that makes me a little bit worried about his time. Bam Adebayo is probably my favorite cheap option here for USA. He played 25 minutes that last game, a competitive game. He's been averaging just about 20 minutes a game. And we know Bam Adebayo is a good point per guy. A guy can block some shots, get some putbacks. Like I said, Spain's a big team, and Bam's really their only true big on the roster. I mean, they do have McGee, but I don't think he's going to play a ton here. So I think Bam is one of my favorite cheap options. And then, yeah, McGee, Grant, Keldon Johnson, I don't think play a ton. Draymond Green at 9K, I think probably gets about 15 minutes, which is not completely out of play, but I would rather go to Bam for a little bit more. All right, so let's talk about roster construction, right? So, again, for FanDuel, it's a little bit different than DraftKings with the MVP spot, the star spot, pro spot, utility. So let's just try to jam in the top 3 guys here, that being, or let's go to both teams here. So if we jam in, let's just say KD, Rubio, and Tatum. Let's just try to put the top 3 guys in and see what we have remaining. A little under 9K remaining. So could you still make that work? Sure. You can go to Bam, and then you can go down and let's see. You'd probably have to go one of those cheap Spain options, but it's doable. So it's pretty easy to get who you want into your lineup. I'm just showing I'm not saying to play the top 3 guys. I'm just showing you guys it's pretty easy. So where would I go for MVP and star spot? So I think there's 3 guys considering for the top 2 spots. That being KD, that being Ricky Rubio, and that being Damian Lillard. Again, I like Lillard for the price discount, but I think those are the 3 guys I'm considering for MVP, star spot. You could play all 3 together in the top 3 spots, right? Value, I'll go over it one more time. Again, for the Spain guys, really, really cheap option. Hernan Gomez, I think, plays about 10 minutes, viable. You have a Brennes, you have Sergio Rodriguez that are playable, and then you're going up a little bit more to guys like Bam Adebayo, Marc Gasol. I think those 2 guys are both pretty safe plays because they have that floor of rebounds, can get some putbacks. Marc Gasol should play about 20 to 25 minutes. I think Bam plays similar amount. So these 2 are 2 of my favorite if you consider them value plays. And then you're getting up to more of these spend ups. So for Spain, it's a little more top heavy, right? We have Rubio and then kind of more value. For the USA, we have a lot of guys that I'm looking to more in the the top, some in the mid range. If you consider Bam value, then he's a value play that I do like. But yeah, that's really all I got for this video today, guys. So let me know if you enjoy this content. If you enjoy me making FanDuel content for NBA, possibly NFL, just let me know. I'll try to get some more videos up there on my channel. But like I said, that's going to do it for the video. So if you haven't enjoyed the content so far, I would really appreciate if you leave a like button on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos and when I go live. Thanks again, guys. Have a great night. Enjoy these games, and I'll see you all in the next video.